just things. He definitely took umbrage with Frank, and that's why he put us. He just stopped working, didn't he?
Yeah, it did basically just stop working here, but you can't blame the guy. Fair enough, innit? I mean,
I don't
obviously,
care what he does me with his secretary. To be perfectly honest,
yeah,
just I'm not bothered about his match day.
exactly, exactly. I mean, you say what would Sven done with the money? It doesn't really matter now, does it? But
It's gone. Yeah.
yeah, that's over and done with. Let's talk about this season. Let's talk about Mark Hughes. Um,
Can I just
obviously,
say one thing about Mark Hughes, and this must be said because this has been on my mind. The people on Blue Moon that's done the Photoshop thread of Mark Hughes.
brilliant,
I mean,
absolutely brilliant.
I've been around a while on Blue Moon, and without doubt, I've never seen a bunch of more talented people in my life. The threads are belting, the subjects that they're picking. Where, I mean, the one in the manger with Robbie as the baby is my favourite post of all time on Blue Moon. So whoever did that, I don't know who it is, I can't remember, but whoever did that, well done.
Yeah.
So go on, Matt Hughes,
Obviously, if you haven't seen that on Blue Moon, head over to Blue
go and see it.
and go and see that thread. The Hughesy Photoshop thread is absolutely amazing. I mean, as always, I like to give a shout out. We've given a shout out to Blue Moon Forum there, which obviously De Niro's a mod on. Give a shout out to the Blue Mooners Forum as well, which is obviously hosting this news section, if you want to call it that. There's some good banter going on over there as well as Blue Moon. Obviously, the two sites can live in harmony.
Of course they can. All the sites can live in harmony. It's the posters that can't.
Exactly, exactly. In the end of the day, we're all blues. Right, let's also talk about Hughes and his signings. I mean, Rubinho, let's say Rubinho's not really a Hughes signing. Let's call him an ADUG signing.
Yep.
So Hughes signings, who've we got? We've got De Jong, Company, Sean Wright, Phillips, Bridge, Bellamy, Rocky Santa Cruz, Barry.
Given.
Yeah, Shea Given, brilliant signing. I mean, you can't say he's made the guy apart from Tel Banaim has not made a single mistake.
I'm not sure that was his. I'm not sure that was his either. Benaim. But to me, every single player then, including Benaim lost the plot, but apart from him losing it, Hughes has bought a player. Every single player has improved our squad. Every single one of his signings, including Benaim, it's just that he happened to fall out with him. But every player that he's bought has improved. The weakest one of them all, I think it's pretty common knowledge, is Wayne Bridge.
Yeah,
He's had an indifferent start to his City career, but indifferent was better than crap, which is what we had with Garrido and Michael Ball. Sad, it's just opinion, but they weren't good enough for City. And Wayne Bridge improved that. And as we said last week, if we get another left back, even if it's Lescott, then Bridge has got to be playing out of his skin. Otherwise, he'll be replaced. He was never going to get replaced by Ball because the manager didn't get on with him.
yeah. Well, basically, I mean, you look at Bridge, and I think I've got to give the lad a bit of benefit of doubt. All he's done at Chelsea for the last fucking 4 or 5 seasons is sit starts. So you've got to give the guy, I think, a fair pre-season at least. I mean, I think this coming season we'll get to see how good Bridge really is.
All the rest of them have done perfectly well.
Yeah, perfectly well. I mean, you look at players that we haven't bought in, but they're still having an effect on Hughes. Like, I mean, a lot of people say Stevie Ireland's down to Stevie Ireland buckling up, but he's come out and said publicly that he likes Hughes as a manager before. And you look at Neda Manua, and he seems to be ticking along nicely as well under Hughes.
Well, what Hughes is, you see, is obviously Hughes is a bit of a toughie. We know that, and as is his backroom staff. And it's obvious that Nedham and Stephen want to play for the club. And I still think Mike Richards does. I think Mike has lost his way a little bit, but if anyone's going to knock him back into shape, it's Matt Hughes, because he just won't stand for it. Sven would. That's the difference between the two. Is Matt Hughes won't stand for it, and they'll be told. But of course, this year we're going to have a replacement in place for every single player, it looks like. apart from
we're trying.
We're trying to. I mean, I can't see Taylor, which we call Shay's bitch. But
Shay's bitch.
because no one's going to dislodge Shay, are they? But I think he's a very experienced keeper that is going to be a really big. Certainly, when the League Cup's around, why risk Shay Given in the early rounds of the Carling Cup?
Oh, we probably won't. I mean, this Taylor lad. I mean,
he's a Premiership goalie when all's said and done.
And not a lot of people know a lot about him, but he's 28-year-old. He had a decent run at Arsenal. He was at Arsenal before he went to Villa. And I mean, he's a decent keeper in all respects. And I mean, Joe Hart, you've got to let the lad go out on loan for his World Cup hopes. It's only fair.
We've just invested again in Joe Hart by doing that. After this year now, because I tell you something, even if he'd have stayed here and we didn't have Given, he's going to be busier at Birmingham than he would have been at City, and he's going to be more in the highlight. He's going to be more in the headlines, and that'll get him a World Cup starting spot. So when someone does want to come and buy him, he's suddenly worth more.
Yeah, but when somebody does want to come buy him, they can fuck off for me.
Of course they could. Same here. What I'm saying is, they can. Gone are the days where Manchester City were a soft touch, where we had to take, where we had to take the first bid that come along and things. We have suddenly now arrived.
I think that's also it's not all to do with the money either. It's Gary Cook and Mark Hughes doing a very good job, it would seem, as well. Yeah,
I agree with you. I like them both, as I've said many a time on the board, even though people, because we certainly have a split, don't we, on these two? But I like the pair of them.
I don't think we have a split on Cook. I think a lot of people respect Cook because he is, it would seem, like a fan himself. He's a very respected guy. I think Hughes, a lot of people are coming round to the way of thinking now.
Well, I mean, let's face it, if we get these players and the ones we've already got, me and you could run City. Gee, do you know what I mean? You just give the ball to Rubinho and say, right there, off you pop. Don't need any tactics, he'll just bang it in there.
Yeah, there's the net son you shooting.
I know what you're saying. Hughes has brought a discipline to the club.
Yeah, right. So let's talk about the transfers that he's wanting to bring in now. This summer transfers. The recent talk, obviously, we signed Gareth Barry, great signing. We talked about that last week, so we won't discuss it further. But recently, Taylor, Shay's bitch, we talked about him just now. Roque Santa Cruz.
Yeah, obviously, everybody's going to say the same thing. Is he going to stay fit? If he does, first of all, I can still see him playing as a squad player. Me, if we get Tevez and Etu, I don't know what system he might play Rocky Cruz in with them. So I'm struggling with that, to be honest. But if he can keep him down to slightly less number of games, then there's just by the sheer mathematics, there's less chance of injury. So if he stays fit, he's a really good asset.
See, the way I think about it is the players that Hughes are lining up is everything is pointing to 4-3-3.
He's not going to accommodate them otherwise, is he?
No.
So who was your midfield three then? Stephen Ireland's nailed on.
Barry. And then one other, I'd say possibly De Jong, a holding midfielder. I mean, Sean Wright-Phillips, I know it's a bit harsh on the lad, but I don't think you can play him and Tevez down the right, because Tevez is going to play the top right spot in that top three. I don't think it would work.
The thing is, you're going to pick and choose your opponents and grounds. For instance, we play at home. Well, we can do whatever we like. We just destroy people, don't we?
Yeah.
But when we play away, I would put Rocky Cruz in before Etu.
See, what I think could happen is, this is what I was about to say, I think we'll play 4-3-3, and obviously we're going to, I'd have the back four, you've got your back four, your keeper, then you've got, it'd be like a triangle formation, I'd think, with, you'd have your Barry and your De Jong sat next to each other, and then your Stephen Ireland just behind the top three.
Right.
And then your top three, you've got Rubinho on the left, Eto'o in the middle if we get him, Tevez on the right if we get him, and then obviously, if we've got hard games, again...
You switch Rocky for Etu?
I wouldn't know. I'd switch Rocky for Rubinho, and put Etu on the left because Etu's a stronger player than Rubinho.
Right. Yeah.